Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. You may have heard rattling around the Kennedy Center is going to be renamed the Obama Center. And while that is true, it is not the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in New York City that's going to be renamed. It is a Kennedy Center in a New Jersey town. So still a little shocking that a community would do this, but it's not quite as impactful of change as it would be if it were the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in New York City. Hopefully that one does not have a name change, but you know, just in considering this, that anybody would do this, there's just this feeling that the cabal, people who want to sabotage our nation would want us to forget about John Kennedy and have Obama replace him as an icon of civil rights and change. But I think that enough people are becoming aware of what's going on that probably won't happen. This is just kind of an interesting bit of news. Another interesting bit of news that I shared before, but it's becoming a little more relevant because it's supposed to happen tomorrow, or I have also heard the date of the 15th mentioned. This article is from Silver Doctors. The fix is out. London silver fix to end August 14th. And this article is from May, but I have read more recent articles that this change is going to be made. So if you follow the markets, you probably have noticed that silver has been going down almost as much as the stock market, which is unusual because typically when the markets perform poorly, when stocks perform poorly, metals increase in value. And just recently that has not been the case, particularly with silver. So hopefully that's all going to change very soon. And hopefully that is a sign of less control by the cabal over the financial system. And it's been all over the news, and I have not mentioned anything about Ferguson, St. Louis, what's going on in Missouri. So I'll try to catch up a little bit today. I think I've been waiting until I understood, or felt like I understood a little bit more about what is going on there. And it really seems as if this is either a test or they really are trying to ignite the powder keg of racial tensions. And they have, listening to Alex Jones on InfoWars yesterday, they have set this community, St. Louis, up really perfectly for there to be race riots. And if you listen to Alex yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. There was a part of the community where a lot of African Americans lived, and that was destroyed somehow, and then the African Americans who lived there were relocated, and they're all just kind of packed together in this nasty neighborhood. And because the river is there on one side, if race riots were to become really severe, there's no place to go to get away. There's a natural barrier with the river, and just strategically, whatever happens would be more contained and probably have a greater impact. And so there's, Adam Sharp of Progressives Today confronted federal informant Reverend Al Sharpton in Ferguson, Missouri on Tuesday. That he is an FBI snitch. So there's that going on there. And yesterday someone on a caller into Alex Jones said that he and his father had seen an ad on Craigslist in St. Louis asking for enlisting looters, which is, that's just so wild, and really seems as if this is a setup. And Alex asked the guy to send him the information about that, and I wasn't able to find that yet on InfoWars. But here's kind of a similar story. Homeland security official arrested in sting involving sordid Sacramento Craigslist ad that they were trying to, they were using Craigslist as a sting operation. So, DHS and those kinds of agencies do use this kind of media in order to set up their little plans. And one must wonder who it would be that would be putting ads on Craigslist asking for more looters in Ferguson. And it really seems as if they are the feds. Someone is stirring this pot and trying to exacerbate the situation. This is an older article. This is from 2012, but this was part of the setup. And that there have been military tanks practicing exercises in St. Louis. So it seems that there has been a long-term plan here, setting up some kind of a race war in St. Louis. And so I did want us to be aware of that. And the way these kinds of plans can be overcome is through refusing to be afraid. And what would happen if some white churches cooked up some big pots of stew, chili, chicken soup, whatever, and took them to the protesters with good intentions, and just said, hey, we don't want to be alienated from you. We have problems too. Can we work together for a better community, better America? And I'm not saying that's the answer, but there have to be ways that we can avoid this setup. And it seems like this has probably been war-gamed for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if they used their predictive computers to determine that, because this is kind of the center of the country, and this is a good place to try to begin to start a race war. Another interesting aspect of Missouri, and something that I recently mentioned, is that Missouri is taking big strides toward freedom and toward affirming the Constitution. So, maybe they even have war-gamed and used computer modeling to learn that long-term Missouri, again, because it's the center of the country, is a place from which constitutional rule of law will begin to have an influence over the rest of the country. It's difficult to tell, but from where we sit, it's all speculation. However, it really seems as if St. Louis is a target for the feds, and a place where they are trying to trigger race riots, race war, and maybe introduce martial law, because they have practiced that there in the past. They've done exercises. Hillary has been in the news a lot lately. Of course, she's always in the news a lot. But one interesting thing that's happened recently, and you probably heard, Obama dismissed Hillary Clinton's Syria criticism as horse whatever. Hillary has been criticizing Barack Obama, which, as Alex Jones said, is absurd because the Clintons run the Obama administration. And she's trying to distance herself, trying to, I think, make herself more palatable for conservatives, and she'll try to get the vote of female conservatives and any conservatives she can sweep up. So it's important, I think, to remain aware of what Hillary is doing and the new political games that she's playing, so that we're equipped to talk to people and help them understand that no, she's not really who she's portraying herself as. She is very closely aligned with the people who are running Obama, and she is also being run by them. And as the self-declared king of the world proclaimed, Hillary is going to be the next U.S. president. Well, let's say no to that, and let's not have that happen. We can do that through understanding, education, and just telling people who she really is. John Rappaport wrote an amazing blog, CIA MKULTRA. They intended to use drugs for everything. And this is true to form. This is just great information, great perspective from John Rappaport. And I think it's particularly relevant because if you look around, it seems like there are a lot of people who are experiencing crises, emotional crises, and there are an awful lot of people who are taking some of these mood-altering prescription medications. This, to some extent, their plans are working. There are drugs being used for just about everything. And the way to sidestep this trap is for more people to become aware that this is going on and to become naturally healthy and to become naturally emotionally stable and just move away from this paradigm. I did also look at this article. John Rappaport tweeted this link yesterday, and he tweeted it in the context of Robin Williams having been in a depression, and I wanted to also mention this. I think it's, a lot of people the celebrities who knew Robin Williams said, yeah, he was depressed. People are believing that he did commit suicide. However, and I'm not, I don't want to say that he was killed or whatever. I don't know anything along those lines. But this was really strange. Robin Williams' death and predictive programming. I was shocked to learn yesterday that Robin Williams had died of apparent suicide in Tiburon, California, a small community north of the Golden Gate Bridge, across the way from San Francisco. It's strange kind of a suicide. I mean, if you had a lot of money, wouldn't you just take some kind of a drug that would make you fall asleep and not wake up? But no, he hung himself with a belt and had slash marks on his wrist. It just, I don't know. There's just, I'm not saying it's not so, but another thing in the mix that is really strange is that the Family Guy ran an episode featuring Robin Williams. In the episode, the main character, Peter Griffin, attempts to commit suicide. And this is just, what is going on here? This says Robin Williams' death was announced on BBC Three just at the conclusion of this Family Guy episode. And of course, there was another incident where the Family Guy predicted an actual terror attack on U.S. soil, the Boston Marathon bombing. I don't know what to think. I think that my guess would be with the Robin Williams death and the Family Guy episode, I'm wondering if someone was sending a message, and what the message is specifically and who was supposed to receive it, there is no way to tell. But this certainly, I think there's almost for certain some significance to this Family Guy episode with Robin Williams and suicide coming out at the same time that he has died. So I don't know if we'll ever know all the facts and what happened with that, but certainly something for conspiracy theorists to theorize about, right? And just as a way of understanding what we actually already understand, I found it interesting reading in Nehemiah 6 in the Bible this story, the enemy's plot. And as ancient as this story is, and this was experienced, you know, a few thousand years ago, you can see here the operation of evil people and how they lay their snares for people. They wanted to secretly meet with this guy because they wanted to do him harm, and then they sent people to tell him that his stories about him were being spread around, and that, you know, people were basically lying about his behavior. And so there's that. And then they were trying to frighten him. They told him that people are coming to kill him and he should go hide. So interesting, you know, some of these tricks they're just played over and over again. The enemy really doesn't have any new material. It's really just all this old recycled stuff. So once we can realize how they function and how they try to move us all into compromising positions and ultimately defeat us and defeat justice and defeat good, we are better equipped to overcome them. We can recognize their lies, their tricks, as Nehemiah did in these situations, and just defuse the whole thing, and problem solved. And just for fun, as kind of a good news way to end today's video, from Wake Up World, scientists prove DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies. So this is good news because it can be a key to healing. But I bring it up just in the context of let's be kind to one another, let's be supportive, let's be encouraging, and DNA can be reprogrammed by words. So using kind words and encouragement can help to raise people to a higher level of consciousness, dare I say, and health. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and enforce the Bill of Rights.